Hello, ladies. Now, you should already have this, but I'm going to read it for you, and if you can find it, you'll be able to follow it. We're looking at William Shakespeare, and I know some of you have been unable to come. Never mind. We'll just carry on. This is an introduction. Now, William Shakespeare was a renowned English poet, playwright, and actor born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon. His birthday is most commonly celebrated on the 23rd of April, which is also believed to be the date he died in 1616. Shakespeare was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre, sometimes called the English Renaissance or the early modern period. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not all he wrote. Shakespeare's poems also remain popular to this day. Shakespeare's family life. Records survive relating to William Shakespeare's family that offer an understanding of the context of Shakespeare's early life and the lives of his family members. John Shakespeare, his father, married Mary Arden, and together they had 8 children. John and Mary lost 2 daughters as infants, so William became their eldest child. John Shakespeare worked as a glove maker, but he also became an important figure in the town of Stratford-on-Avon by fulfilling civic positions. His elevated status, because of his importance, he was even more likely to have sent his children, including William, to the local grammar school. William Shakespeare would have lived with his family in their house, and we can go and have a look at it, on Henley Street, until he turned 18. When he was 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was 26. It was a rushed marriage because Anne was already pregnant at the time of the ceremony. Together they had 3 children. Their first daughter, Susanna, was born 6 months after the wedding and was later followed by twins Hamnet and Judith. Hamnet died when he was just 11 years old. You can do lots more research just looking up Shakespeare's life online. Shakespeare in London. His career jump-started in London. But when did he go there? We know Shakespeare's twins were baptised in 1585 and that by 1592 his reputation as a playwright was established in London. But the intervening years are considered a mystery. Scholars generally refer to these years as the lost years. During his time in London, Shakespeare's first printed works were published. They were 2 long poems, Venus and Adonis in 1593 and The Rape of Lucretia, 1594. He also became a founding member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a company of actors. Shakespeare was the company's regular dramatist, so he wrote the plays, producing on average 2 new plays a year for almost 20 years. He remained with the company for the rest of his career, during which time it evolved into the King's Men under the patronage of King James I. This happened after 1603. During his time in the company, Shakespeare wrote many of his most famous tragedies, such as King Lear and Macbeth, as well as great romances like The Winter's Tale and The Tempest. For more about Shakespeare's patrons and his work in London, see Shakespeare's career. Altogether, Shakespeare's works include 38 plays, 2 narrative poems, 154 sonnets, and a variety of other poems. No original manuscripts of Shakespeare's plays are known to exist today. It is actually thanks to a group of actors from Shakespeare's company that we have about half of the plays at all. They collected them for publication after Shakespeare died, preserving the plays. These writings were brought together in what is known as the First Folio. The word folio refers to the size of the paper used. It contained 36 of his plays, but none of his poetry. Shakespeare's legacy is as rich and diverse as his work. His plays have spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. His plays have had an enduring presence on stage and film. His writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of Shakespeare. Iterations means different collections. This includes all his plays, sonnets, and poems. William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of the English language. New Place, his home in Stratford. He moved at the end of his career. Shakespeare's success in the London theatres made him considerably wealthy, and by 1597 he was able to purchase New Place, the largest house in the borough of Stratford-upon-Avon. Although his professional career was spent in London, he maintained close links with his native town. Recent archaeological evidence discovered on the site of Shakespeare's house, New Place, shows that Shakespeare was only ever an intermittent lodger in London. This suggests he divided his time between Stratford and London, a 2 or 3 day commute then by horse. In his later years, he may have spent more time in Stratford-upon-Avon than scholars previously thought. And at the bottom of your paper, you've got a link there to explore more about him.